My life is full of stories and instances where I communicated honor and blessings that came from it. Maybe I'll give you one and then we'll tie up a few things. I remember years ago, I was in Jos. Very interesting story. I went to buy sugar cane. Are we together? And then I saw two women, mothers, elderly women. They were struggling to buy sugar cane too, and I noticed, they have a way of tying money, and then they reach down and try, and they were struggling to, pull it out. And I said, please, you are mothers, you are my mothers. Would you give me the honor of paying for this? They said, no. I said, please, I insist. And then they said, all right. It was not more than 100 naira. I bought the sugar cane for them, and they kept blessing me. For some reason, I don't know why I did not pay attention to what they were saying. And suddenly I heard one of them, and she said, my son, forever walk upon gold. That was what she told me. Not every human is human. There are people carrying deep and ancient mysteries on them, waiting for your honor to unlock those dimensions. Now, behind every glory, truly I tell you, there is a story. If you ask God's servant Apostle Goodheart and his wife, they would tell you secret manifestations of honor that has been a track record all through their life and ministry to have brought them this far. Ask any CEO, ask any person of an enviable destiny, they will tell you. I had the privilege and the honor of sitting with one of really great people in this nation recently, and he was giving me a very interesting story about a young man who wanted to start business, and he just used his credibility to write a note, and he secured some loans. And when the gentleman made profit, he came with everything and met him and said, sir, just to thank you for what you have done, this is it. And he said, what will I do with it? He said, no, I need your blessing. You have to take something from it. And this was not a Christian. You understand what I'm saying? He came to him, and the man said, no, I'm a blessed man, you just go, the Lord honor you. And he refused. He took 200,000 from that money, took it to the man's wife and said, please, if you truly love me, take this money. And they came back and they were discussing as a couple, and they said, this young man looks like he's a great person, and they endorsed him again. Cut the long story short, he's one of the third leaders in his field in this nation today. Honor, not knowledge. There is a realm you get to where everybody is knowledgeable. Your edge no longer becomes knowledge. Your edge becomes honor. There is a realm you get to where everybody is a professional. Your edge will no longer be intellect. Honor. Many of you are seated here listening to me, and God is showing you why you probably have been going through stagnation in business, stagnation in ministry. There are pastors who criticize everybody God is doing great things in. They have not raised anybody, they have not led anybody, and they would criticize every church. They would criticize this. They call every pastor a thief. They say all kinds of things and secretly admire the anointing. Let me tell you this: anything you criticize, you give an authorization in the realm of the spirit that that virtue should run away from you indefinitely. It is a law. There are many young people who have not raised children, they've not done everything, but they have the guts and the audacity to insult parents. Shame on my father, shame on my mother. They say they've not raised anybody, they've not paid anybody's school fees, they cannot manage themselves, and yet they criticize people all around. And then when they do so, they package their CV and believe that just because there is a first class or there is a 2-1, the door will open. No, sir. Growing up, I used to talk a lot about my dad. There were obvious things I saw that I thought and felt he would have done better, and generally. But when God brought me to the position of leadership, I started cultivating a healthy respect for him. You know, sometimes God delivers you by putting you where you are criticizing. so that it will give you room to taste and see that it is easier said than done. There are sometimes some doors, even though they shouldn't have opened, God opens it so that you will know what it means to be in that position. I have a wicked uncle who never gives anybody a job, and I spoke to him, and he's 5 months, he's not responded to me. Then God promotes you, and you think it's breakthrough. He promotes you in a position where there are 5 demands in one day.